Hey, what's up you guys, it's Cashback, I'm here, and I'm here to bring you guys another One Piece video. And this one is going to be about a theory that I stumbled upon about whether or not Monkey D. Dragon was actually a part of Gold D. Roger's crew. Now this theory comes from the user Lexies from orojackson.com. I'm going to put a link in the description below for you guys to read it yourself, but basically just to summarize it, it basically says that Lexies got this idea from after watching the Strong World episode 0 special, and because for the most part we all kind of have this general understanding that Dragon's devil fruit ability has something to do with weather or just something along those lines. And the evidence that Lexies is pointing to is during the execution of Gold D. Roger and the almost execution of Monkey D. Luffy, where Dragon was present for both of them, and both times it was storming outside. And we all know that Dragon saved Luffy because of the fact that he's his son. But why exactly was Dragon present at Roger's execution? Lexies thinks it's because of one of these two reasons. It's because of the fact that Roger was very important to the Revolutionary Army, or Roger was just very close to Dragon himself. And so Lexies is saying if Roger was actually a hero who saved people from other pirates, the Celestial Dragons, or from the world government, it would make sense that the Revolutionary Army would want to keep him alive because he was making their job easier. Now here's where this theory kind of gets interesting. What if Dragon was one of the people who knew that Roger was sick and was going to die eventually, and basically just decided to let things happen the way they did? And Lexies believes that no one else outside of his crew, or the people that were the closest to him, even knew that Roger himself was sick. And in Lexies' opinion, Dragon being on Roger's ship would explain these two important things, and it would be how Roger won against Shiki, and also the origins or strengthening of the Revolutionary Army. Now we all know that Roger's crew won the war between himself and Shiki's crew due to the fact that there was a drastic change in weather that basically sunk, I believe it was about half of Shiki's fleet. Now Lexies knows that Dragon is nowhere to be seen during this clip, but what if Dragon's devil fruit is a cloud Logia? He'd be able to use his cloud form to help out. Then it's a fact that all of his crewmates knew what happened during the Void Century, and Lexies is pretty sure that the information can make you angry enough to start a revolution against the world government. And that's why it makes sense to Lexies that Dragon was a part of Roger's crew. Now I really like this theory of Dragon being a part of Roger's crew, because that definitely does open up quite a few different possibilities as to Roger's past, and it also would explain as to why exactly Dragon is doing exactly what he's doing, because no one knows why Dragon started the Revolutionary Army yet. But yeah, this definitely would explain as to why Dragon is so adamant against the world government, because he has to have known what happened during the Void Century. And for all we know, the only people who really know what happened during the Void Century that are still alive are the people that were a part of Roger's crew. So it definitely does make sense that if Dragon was a part of Roger's crew, he would know everything, and he started the Revolutionary Army. And also, there also could be a few people who are in the Revolutionary Army now that might have also been a part of Roger's crew that joined with Dragon after Roger died, just due to the fact that they were also disgusted at what the world government has done for the past 1,000 years, I believe it is. But yeah, as much as I like this theory, I really prefer this not to be the case, just due to the fact that I just don't feel like it would be as organic, or at least Luffy's dreams and ideals and goals to be the Pirate King, it wouldn't feel as it just wouldn't feel as satisfying to me at that point, just because it's like Luffy doesn't admire Roger because of the fact that he's strong, or just because of the fact that he was a great pirate. He admires him because of the fact that he was the guy who was able to do whatever he wanted, because of the fact that he had the most freedom in the world. Luffy just wants to be free. He said that to Rayleigh. He doesn't care. He even said it to his new fleet. Like, he does not care about strength and power and whatnot. He does, but only so he can maintain his freedom. But he's not about conquering and ruling. He just wants to be free, and I definitely wouldn't be opposed to it, but I just don't know how I feel about Dragon being a pirate, because also there's also a problem with that as well, because I believe it was about 8 years before Luffy went out on his journey. It was when you know, all the kings that they were at the like they had that meeting and they were talking about Dragon, and they were saying right now he's not really a threat to us, but in about 5 to 6 years he could be a serious threat. I just don't think that if they knew that he was a part of Roger's crew, they wouldn't have brushed him off like they did that time ago. They would have already considered him a major threat. Dragon could have been a part of his crew and he just wasn't, you know, that noteworthy, but I don't see how that would be the case. So Dragon is right now the most wanted man in the world, and it's like, there's no way that if he was a part of Roger's crew, they would not have known about it. They would have known about it. There's a reason why they didn't know about Buggy, and that's because Buggy's Buggy. You know, like, he's just, it's Buggy for crying out loud. Of course, they're not going to know about him. But if Dragon was a part of that crew, they would have known about it. They would have taken him as a threat immediately, and they would have taken action immediately instead of saying, oh, well, he might be a threat. Maybe 5 to 6 years down the line, but I don't really see that happening. No. The world government would have done everything they could to get Dragon out of this world. They would have done anything to kill that man before he could really, you know, plant his seeds and turn into this big revolutionary army he is today. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this theory, guys. What do you guys think? Do you like the idea of Dragon being a part of Roger's crew? Go ahead and leave your comments in the comment section below. Give a thumbs up if you like the video, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. It's Cash Beckham, and see you guys.